guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a very long overdue video because I am doing my first unhaul and it is gonna be a pretty big one. I have actually had these books away in a crate in my room for months and it's just time that I get rid of them. I just want them out of my life. Also, before I start, just a disclaimer, I am not giving any of these books away. I am actually going to go to a used bookstore in my area tomorrow to sell them to the store. So I'm sorry that I can't do a giveaway or anything like that, but honestly right now it would be too much of a hassle. Plus I can't really afford that much shipping for all these books because as you're gonna see, it's a lot of books that I'm going to get rid of. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first book that I want to mention, it is a book that if you are a very early watcher of mine, you will recognize that this was one of my most disappointing books, and it is marked by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I wasn't a fan of the series. I've had this book for the longest time. It's time for me to get rid of it. Keeping along with those disappointing books, the next book is Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delaria. Again, wasn't really a fan of this one. It reminded me a lot of The Perks of Being a Wallflower, but The Perks of Being a Wallflower is one of my all-time favorite books, and at the end of the day, I would much rather read that than read this, so I'm getting rid of it. Another disappointing book, Wicked Lovely by Marissa Marr. Never finished it. Probably not going to. I actually bought this at a used bookstore, so, you know, I'm giving it back. Next two books I think might be a little controversial because this author is a very popular author, but it's just not for me. The first book is going to be Panic by Lauren Oliver and Delirium. I actually read Panic. I never finished it actually. It was one of the books that I DNF'd. I just wasn't a fan of the characters. I'm just never gonna finish reading this book, to be honest. And then I've heard good things about this book, but the series as a whole I haven't heard great things about, particularly with the third book. I have so many other books to read, guys, that I just really don't even want to be bothered really right now. But like I said, she's a very popular author, so I'm sure that someone else is going to get a lot more out of these books than I will, so I might as well just get rid of them and give them to somebody who will actually read them and enjoy them. So I'm getting rid of these. The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. I think I borrowed this book from the library a lot, but I never got around to it. I think I found this at a thrift store or at a used bookstore somewhere and I decided to pick it up, but I just never read it. I probably never will, so like again, similar theme. Might as well just give it to someone who will actually read it. So bye-bye. Is there something in my lens? There was something in my lens. Ah! I'm using my blanket. Probably not the best, most advisable thing to do, but stop. Blue Bloods by Melissa De La Cruz. Same story with The Summoning. Next are three books that I actually got on the book outlet because I got the set for like $4 or something like that, which was insane. I originally bought them because I thought this was a trilogy. Turns out it's not a trilogy. It's a very long series that I'm just, again, not willing to commit myself to, so I might as well just give these to someone who will actually read them. It is the first three books of the, what is this? The Immortals series by Alison Noel. So I have Evermore, Shadowland, and Blue Moon. And again, never read them. Amazing deal at the book outlet, but I know I'm never gonna read these. Another book outlet purchase. If you guys learn anything from this video, is that the book outlet is amazing, but always make sure to do your research and to see how much you are willing to commit to a series if it is out, because I also bought the first three books of the, what is this called? The Chronicles of Nick by Sherilyn Kenyon. The premise sounds really cool, but again, it's a really long series that I just can't commit to right now, and I just much rather give these away to somebody who will actually enjoy them. Next up might be a controversial one. It is Aragon by Christopher Paolini. I'm just not gonna read it. Next three books are books that I actually have no idea how I came to own these books. I don't know if someone gave them to me or if I picked them up. Maybe a teacher gave them to me. I honestly don't even remember, but I've had them for the longest time and I've just never read them. Pure and Fuse by Juliana Baggett. I don't know what these stories are about. The covers are pretty. I really like the covers, but I just don't think I'm going to read them. So it's time to get rid of them. Along with that, it is Red Moon by Benjamin Percy. Again, I have no idea how I got this. I have no idea what it's about. It's a nice cover. It's a cool cover. I like the cover, but I'm just not gonna read it. Last but not least, this one is one that I was so excited about, but it's just not gonna happen, guys. It's just not gonna happen. It is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I bought this on Thrift Books, I believe, when the TV show started, because I started watching the TV show and I really enjoyed the TV show. I thought that I was gonna pick it up right away, but then I kept hearing people say that it takes you about 100 to 150 pages to really get into the book, and this is a really long book, and it's just not going to happen. I also haven't been keeping up with the TV show. I only watched the first half of the first season, and I don't want to be bothered. I just don't want to be bothered. If I really enjoy the TV show, and from what I've heard, it's a pretty good adaptation, so if I really want to know what happens, I'm just gonna stick to watching the TV show instead of actually reading the books, because these are long and intimidating, and I'm just generally not the biggest fan of historical fiction. I feel like I got way too caught up in the excitement when the TV show came out that I just kind of ignored everything else and decided to go for it, and it's just never gonna happen. And that is it. Those are the books that I am getting rid of. And to be honest, there may be another Unhaul coming soon, because my bookshelves behind me are starting to get really full, and I need to do some spring cleaning on there. And please understand that just because I personally am not interested in reading any of these books, or I maybe didn't enjoy any of these books, doesn't mean that if you enjoy them that you're wrong. You guys know I would never say something like that. I think generally you guys are very understanding, and you know that, you know, opinions differ, and we're all open-minded people who can accept other people's opinions regarding books. We're grown-ups. Kind of, sort of. Yeah. Okay, that's it for now. Bye. So today's video is going to be my Slay That series wrap up.